I'm going to show you some really incredible Sims builds today that were actually made by members of our community for my most recent shell challenge. Now, in case you've never heard of a shell challenge before, let me explain the rules. A couple weeks ago, I built this kind of weird box in The Sims. You can see it's got a bunch of little random parts, kind of some odd shapes to it, and in this case, I even left a couple random walls on the inside, and then I put this on the gallery, and I challenged you all to take this box and turn it into something. The rules are actually pretty simple. The only major one is that you can't change any of the existing walls. So anybody who tried to build with this shell had to keep all of these walls on the exterior and these interior walls that I left intact, and then obviously add interior walls and windows and platforms and roofs and things to turn this into a real build. And you can pretty much do anything. You can rotate it, you can put it on a bigger lot, you can add a foundation and stuff. The only thing that you can't do is change those existing walls. That's why it's called a shell challenge, because this shell, like the exterior of the building, has to remain the same. And the coolest part about this is that we all have that same core structure to our builds, because obviously we all use the same shell, but everybody went in like a completely different direction. If you take a look at the hashtag we use for this and you kind of scroll through a little bit on the gallery, you can just see how much creativity goes into this. This is why shell challenges are one of my favorite things to do on YouTube, because it's a really cool like community building thing, and it's just so fun to see all the cool builds people do and like all the different ideas we have. The only problem is that after a certain point, the gallery does kind of try and stop you. Like, the gallery is a little bit annoying to use, so it can be kind of hard to see all of them despite my best efforts, because as I'm sure you all know, the gallery can be kind of a nightmare at times. So I picked a handful of builds that I want to show you in this video today that I think are absolutely amazing. Keeping in mind, obviously, there are hundreds, if not maybe even thousands of builds that you've all done for this, so it's really hard to narrow it down. So I tried to pick a variety of base game builds and pack builds, but also different lot types and stuff, just to give you a good idea in this video of how different they all are. Now, obviously, in these videos, it is impossible to tour all of them because there's just so many, but I do always also do a live stream on Twitch where I tour random ones. Basically, people in chat will put their name on a list, and then I randomly draw usernames to tour on stream, and that gives like everybody more of an equal chance. See, it stopped. I can't scroll further, but it gives people more of an equal chance to get toured because it's a little bit easier when you're picking from chat as opposed to the gallery, because, you know, the gallery is the gallery. But I say all of that to like not discourage you from participating, because these things are really fun, and the point is just to build and to have fun building. It's not necessarily about like getting toured in the video, it's more about like the fun of doing the shell. And also, I kind of want to warn you, the builds that we're going to look at in this video make me feel bad, because it makes me feel like I'm terrible at building. The sheer talent that you all possess like just amazes me. To start off, I want to show you what I built with the shell. I find that I really struggle with community lots sometimes, so I tried to like break out of my comfort zone a little bit and turn this one into a cafe. It's also kind of a more modern shape, which is different for me as well. I don't usually do stuff like that, but I'm quite proud of how this turned out. I'll link the video of me building this down below if you want to go back and watch it. We have some cool things like a glass roof and some nice patio space and stuff. And then on the inside, it's like very pink and blue and kind of trendy. We've got a bunch of seating and like some lounge space. Obviously, you can buy some coffee over here. There's more tables and stuff back in this area if your Sims wanted to come here and study. But then upstairs, I wanted to make like an arcade sort of vibe. So I made it all this pink and blue lighting. We've got games tables. We have this arcade machine. There's even ping pong up here. Also a vending machine in case you wanted to kill a Sim or something. The whole point of this lot was to make a very teen focused hangout space. I kind of thought like maybe you could have your teen Sim come here and do homework with their friend and then like play some ping pong or something. I don't think I like love how the exterior looks, but I'm pretty happy with the inside of this one. It's just hard with shell challenges because you're stuck with what you have, and so I probably wouldn't have built it exactly like this if it weren't a shell. Like, I maybe would have done a slightly more reasonable shape if it weren't a shell, but this is kind of what I made with it, and now I want to show you 10 that were made by all of you that are just completely different. Obviously, these are in no particular order. I kind of just tried to stagger like community lot, then house, then community lot, just to give us some variety, but I certainly don't have like a number one best or anything. They are all really, really amazing. The one I want to start with is called Mirage, and it's by Nymeria221 on the gallery, and this is a restaurant. It says, "The Mirage is the perfect place to escape the hot desert sun, enjoy exquisite dishes and delicious tea while resting in the peace of the shaded backyard." I'm also going to have every single build that we toured listed down below in the description box in order to make it easier for you to find them. But this is the first one, and can I just say, when you look at this, you would would never know that it's the same shell as the build that I just showed you. When you look a little bit more closely, you can see some of those same shapes, like those weird walls that I had, that weird little bump out that I had added. It is the same shell. They just went in a completely different direction. Restaurants are one of my favorite things to build in The Sims too, because it's so fun to set like custom menus and stuff. This one is especially fun because there's so much outdoor seating. They've got like all these beautiful tables outside. When you come inside through this archway, you can check in. There's a bunch more tables inside, but in like a slightly different color scheme, and I love the tile on them. We also have a bathroom section over here. We've got the kitchen in the way back, and then this staircase will bring you upstairs to like a slightly more lounge-like area. We've got the Bubbletron 5000. There's some cute couches and stuff. There's some patio seating up here, and then in the back there's even more patio seating. Something you'll notice a lot of in these shell builds is people really making use of like balconies and platforms and stuff to extend the roof out a little bit. So you see how they've added like this extended balcony right here to make it look like the shell is a more reasonable, like uniform shape, when in reality it is neither of those things. This shell was not reasonable or uniform. It's also kind of fun to see how people use the walls that I forced them to keep, like this wall right here becoming a little nook for this chair. They extended that first floor wall and used it to like separate the dining rooms and have a place for the stairs. It looks like it was there on purpose. You would never know they got forced to keep it because of my silly rules. Okay, but with that, I want to move on to the next one. This is the Basegame Desert Adobe by emikoyo on the gallery, and this I think is a great example of just how different these shell builds are, because both of these things are like desert inspired in Oasis Springs, but they don't even look remotely similar despite being the exact same shape. This one was also built with just the base game. I think you'd be surprised by how many people do base game things for these shell builds, and there's some like really incredible base game builds on the gallery as well. But this is Emmy's house, and I think I just really love the front of this one and also the color scheme, because I've never considered using these windows or these items in this way. There's a lot of really cool features too, like these debug fence panels being used to like really make a fancy front of the building. We've got a fake driveway and little carport area over here. They added a platform on this side and then hung up curtains on it, and they used that to have like a covered little patio area with some toys and skill building objects. And there's like kind of a similar vibe going on in the back with the curtains, but also with these beautiful lanterns hung up and the fountain. We have a huge pool and a sunken outdoor kitchen. There's also an enormous second story patio up here, and they put like a bunch of garden planters and stuff. I just really like the split leveling and like layering on this lot. You can see they've rotated theirs in a slightly different direction, so it's oriented differently this time. But when you first walk in, there's kind of a hallway with a staircase. We've got a little bathroom here in the front. Over to the side is the kitchen, and I just love this color scheme. Like the brown with the blue, I think looks really nice. I also love this part with like the opening. I don't know, it looks very realistic to me. We've got a dining room here, and they even included stuff for a toddler, which I never do. I never put high chairs. It's not like I forget, it's more of like an outright refusal because I just don't use them, but it's such a nice touch when you're like building a family home to like actually include stuff for the family. Back here on this wall, we have a huge living room. They've got like a debug remote place even. Over here, we have kind of an office nook. They turned that little bump out that I left into a cool built-in area with some bookshelves. And this part is a really fun feature. So you might think like, wait a minute, the shell wasn't this big. Like, how did they do that? They added on a fake room. So I don't know if you've noticed, but there's not actually walls here. They've got windows, but there's not actually a wall here. It's pretend. So it's totally legit and fair with the shell. We allow platforms, we allow adding in half walls. They didn't add any exterior walls. They just added like a sunroom area and then made it look like it was open with the glass. I don't know. I just think this is so cool. So we have like an outdoor, indoor dining area. We've got another living space over here. And then when you go upstairs, we've managed to fit in 3 bedrooms and a couple extra bathrooms. So there's a small primary bedroom right here with a closet. They've got an ensuite. And then we have 2 kids rooms. We've got a little toddler room right here. This one's got some bunk beds and some more kids stuff, and they've got an ensuite bathroom too. I find it really impressive how many rooms they managed to squeeze into this because the shell itself isn't very big. So to have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, it just feels like this layout worked so perfectly. And it's all base game. So if you wanted to download this, you totally could. Again, I will have all the builds and the gallery IDs listed down below. The next one is like a completely different vibe, like not in the desert at all. This one is the Riverside Cottage by Rubber Ducky 0325. This gallery image does not do it justice because this tree is blocking things. Wait until you see this. You will not believe the detail on on the exterior. When they said Riverside Cottage, they were really not kidding. They made like an entire river. I don't even know where to begin with this one, so let's just talk about the outside for a second. You can see they've used a lot of terrain tools to put a river sort of going around the whole house, and then they put the whole place up on stilts. They've got this like split level deck system to get you up to the upstairs. So you walk in and cross this bridge, and then you can go upstairs to the left to the house, or go back this way to this like kind of covered seating area. They really detailed the landscaping of this too. There's like so many beautiful plants and like mushrooms growing. All of these little squares that might seem weird if you haven't seen them before are actually like effects. So you can see this one is fireflies in game in live mode. There'll be like little fireflies floating. There'll be fish over here and swans. So the place like really feels lively. And then when you actually get up to the inside of the house, it's kind of like a cottagey vibe almost. One of my favorite parts is this litter box right here underneath the stairs. There's a lot of like pet footprints going on. They've like kind of told the story. So you can see like some muddy paw prints by the litter. There's even like a shovel and a bucket to scoop it. I've never thought to put this much detail into like my pet's litter box before, and I just loved this part. Also in the back, they have like some muddy paw prints going up to this little bird house. I really love this backyard too, because they have like the backyard part raised up so it's level with the house, and then the whole front obviously is river. I don't know, I love the terrain they've done. They also included a cow plant, which is like a surefire way to my heart. But when you actually walk inside, the front door is here, and you come into this little hallway area. Off to the right, there's a little office. To the left, we've got this tiny little living room space that looks super cozy, and we have a bathroom over here. When you go further in, we have that kitchen dining area, and I really like the color scheme. This yellow cabinet is like one of my favorite ones in the whole game. There's also a kid's bedroom down here off the kitchen. You can just tell how much detail they've put into this, like down to the cat scratches all over the wall over here with the cow plant poster and the cow plant outside. Like they've really told a story in this build. Upstairs, we've got a couple more bedrooms. We have this primary bedroom right here. They have their own balcony off the front, which is super cute. And there's even a staircase so you can get in and out from up here. We've got a little toddler bedroom over here, a couple more bathrooms, and an art studio upstairs, which I just love. I've never thought to use this cart like this before, but we got this little cart with the high school pack, and they put like the paint from City Living and also some toothbrushes, and it looks like there's actually like paint and paintbrushes there, and that combined with this one, I don't know, it just looks so realistic. Obsessed. I am obsessed with this one. The next one is also a completely different vibe. This is the Basegame and Desert Kit Fam House by madamredo on the gallery. So it's almost base game, but it also uses that Desert Luxe kit that we got for free a few months ago. Immediately, I was obsessed with the landscaping. I loved this little like arched driveway pathway almost. We've got a couple cars here from Debug, and you can see they also did the trick with using platforms and balconies to kind of hide the weird shape of the shell and make it look more uniform. It also just gives you a bunch more space on the outside. I think the back is maybe my favorite part though. I think in particular this part with the columns and this overhang with the plants. I don't know, I just really like this area. But under here we have like a built-in stone bench thing going on almost. We have the fireplace. We've also got like a little grill area, and then in the way back we have a bar. We've got some lounge chairs. There's a pool. There's even a pond. They've managed to fit in a lot into a very small space back here. And we kind of have this like running meme on my channel when it comes to shell builds about like the most commonly included things. We describe it as the 3 Ps: ponds, pets, and plants. Because I've noticed that everybody loves a pond. We've seen more than one pond already today. Pets, we see so many like dedicated pet corners and cat cafes and like specific pet areas like the last build. And then also plants, but not just any plants, but like specifically plants on the roof, which in this case we have a lot of. This area over here and this over here. And the other more recent, very frequent addition is telescopes. We love this telescope. You will see this telescope in many builds today. Ever since we got that, we were all like, yes, this is the greatest item of all time. And we all just put it everywhere now. It's kind of fun to see like what people like and what the trends are with builds in that way. But moving on to the inside, when you come up to the front door, first of all, we've got a huge patio. So we've got like some outdoor seating over here. But on the inside, we've gone with a very blue color scheme, which as you all know is the key to my heart. So you walk straight into this huge living room area. There's a big TV right here. This is is that wall they got stuck with including, and they tried to make it like a feature, which is kind of cool. They even made use of that weird little bump out and put some storage in it. These are kind of a fun feature because if you ever look on the gallery for like custom paintings, you'll find a lot of in-game paintings and photographs that people make. So these, for example, are by MNui1103 on the gallery, but people on the gallery make a lot of custom art that the game classes as being base game and not CC, but it's kind of a cool way to get some more stuff, especially when you're doing a base game build. So definitely check out that sort of thing if you're looking for custom artwork like this. There's even like custom house numbers and stuff that people make. Over here we have the kitchen. They have really cluttered this up with like so many cute details. There's like a little dining nook in the corner, and we have a huge bathroom down here. And then upstairs we managed to fit in a couple of bedrooms. We have this bigger primary bedroom that has 2 balconies. There's a lot of skill building stuff here too, like the easel and everything. And then we have this super cute, adorable little cluttered up toddler's room. This guy, Baby Yoda, is the other thing that makes very frequent appearances in our shell builds, but he's like sat there staring out the window. I didn't even notice him until just now, but look, you can see him from the front. I'm trying not to be too slow with this, so sorry if it seems like I'm rushing, but I want to make sure we get through all of these in like a sort of timely manner. So this next one is the Restaurant with House by Lilibet3 on the gallery. This one was actually built on the same lot that I did mine on, but they just obviously went in a super different direction. One of the things that I liked the most about this one is they kind of tried to turn it into 2 separate buildings, which I thought was amazing considering how small the shell actually was. So the idea behind this is a mom and her young kid live here together in the townhouse, and then they run the restaurant next door. So we'll start with the house here. We've got like a little front door and a tiny mailbox. This is what the outside kind of looks like. It looks so realistic to me as well, and it also blends in really nicely with the other lots in this part of town. Like, to me, it just totally matches this building next door. But when you first walk inside, there's like a little teeny tiny hallway. Through these sliding glass doors, we can access the first part of their patio. They have like some storage going on here with the trash cans and like the decor box. The litter box is here, and so is the bike and stuff. The cat even has their own door to get out here. They've got like a little tiny bathroom off the front door here, and they put like little light switches and clutter everywhere. This is kind of fun because these are new. We haven't had these until very recently. If you keep walking down though, we have a really small living space. We've got like a tiny living room, kitchen, dining area. As we previously discussed, I love these yellow cabinets, so I really like the kitchen over here. The kids' rooms in the way back, they've got a lot of space too. They have like a bed in their desk area, and also a door of their own to the bigger backyard. Back here we have like some garden planters. We've got the grill and stuff. I really like the idea of this because if you wanted to play on this lot, it's classed as a restaurant, so you wouldn't like actually live here, but like gameplay wise, you could just have your sim who owns the restaurant come and stay here and then just like sleep on the restaurant lot. You won't get bills here or anything, and you'd have to lock the front door so you don't have like the restaurant guests coming in and using your kitchen, but it's really nice when you're running a retail store or a restaurant or like a vet clinic and stuff to just have your sims live there. And you totally can. We have upstairs a huge primary bedroom and a little bathroom, like the main bathroom for them to share. And then the other half of the lot is the restaurant, and it's kind of cute because it's almost like flipped. Like this is their front door and then this is the restaurant's front door back here. So at the restaurant, we have a ton of outdoor seating in this little front patio area. And then when you walk up, you can come over here and then check in, get your table, look at the menu. There's a little bit more indoor seating in like the kitchen and a bathroom and stuff, but there's also an outdoor staircase that takes you upstairs to some more indoor seating. And I'm just obsessed with this idea. I love the like flipped fronts of them, like the splitting of the lot. I don't know. This was just super creative. And it also feels like the kind of lot that I would really want to play in. Like I love restaurants and stuff, so this is just kind of a fun concept. Even down to like the dumpster, we have the fake garage door and the dumpster in the front. It seems so realistic and so like actually played in and lived in and stuff. Now this next one is also a completely different vibe. We've seen a few restaurants and houses and stuff, but this one is the Industrial Tiki Bar by morepanthers. They describe it as, this bar is what happens when a beach-loving werewolf moved into Moonwood Mill and wanted a fun place to drink, play games, and relax in some island vibes. So they've kind of combined that like industrial, abandoned factory vibe of the werewolf pack with a lot of the cute stuff from Island Living to make like a beach-themed bar in Moonwood Mill. I really liked this idea, and I've never seen anything like this before, and they filled the lot with so many cute little details. Like out here, they made a fake beach volleyball area. Around the back, we've got loads of seating and like pretty fairy lights. They used a lot of the debug stuff, like these sort of destroyed fences too. In the front, they have this super cute sign and also this debug one that I don't think I've ever seen before, but works so well. And then inside you can see they've like really gone all out with decorations. We have this cute little beach Santa. There's so many fairy lights. We've got all this seating. We've got arcade machines. I love these little sandal lights up here and like the fish poster. We've got a foosball table here, and in the bar area, they made like a fake robot to be working as the bartender. Upstairs, it's kind of lofted. We have like a little seating area. There's some patio space and obviously the bathrooms, but there's also like a little employee room. And then my favorite part of this build is this little patio, because I've never thought to do a rooftop in this way, but they use that window from high school years that your Sims can climb through, and they use that as the doorway to access this rooftop, and it's kind of like a secret hideaway on the roof. And I just thought that was so clever and so cool. I don't know, I just love the idea of this build, and there's so many little details. They even have like some photos of the building and of the staff and stuff hung up in here. I would never have thought to like put beach stuff in Moonwood Mill, and somehow it works so well. And the lot blends in with the world around it so nicely. It is really well done. I don't know how much more different you can get from the last one than this one, but this is the New Year New Shell Onsen by FlooringDemo. I say that because the last one was beach themed, and this one uses Snowy Escape, so it's like cold mountain themed. And they described using this as like a honeymoon spot for their Sims, and it can be used as an onsen or a spa, so it's got all the requirements for both. I love the build stuff from Snowy Escape so much. Like the wallpapers and the roof textures are so beautiful, but this is how they decorated their exterior, and this one to me is also like unrecognizable as the shell. I would never know that it's the same shell as the others. This one's on a kind of small lot. It's only 20 by 15, so we don't have a ton of exterior space, but we've managed to fit in so much cute little landscaping and details back here. When you first walk inside, you come in through these doors, and there's kind of like a front desk area here where you could check in, buy some stuff. They've got a gnome working at the front desk, which I always do in my community lots. Whenever I build like a gym or a spa or like any lot that might have a fake front desk, I always put in this guy, the little landlord gnome, and it seems he has now ventured out into the world of onsens, and he owns one of these too. Back behind him, there's like a locker room and some bathrooms, and I totally forgot about this mountain swatch of this tile, but it looks so pretty in here. Around the side, we've got like a kitchen area and a kotatsu table. Back here, there's like some extra vending machines and stuff and some equipment hanging up on the wall. And then upstairs, this is kind of what I think they're gonna use as their honeymoon spot. They've put in a bed and like kind of made a hotel room up here, even down to like having a mini fridge and a microwave and like this little coffee pot. Also a mouse trap back behind the fridge, which I don't think I knew we had, but apparently we do. It's debug, obviously, but I didn't notice that until just now, and that's actually really funny. They even put like a suitcase and some clothes on the floor to make it seem like Sims are actually staying in here. Now, this obviously works the same as like the other lot did, where you can't actually stay here on vacation because it's a community lot, but you could have your Sims just come here and then sleep here and not leave, which is kind of a nice little detail. You don't have to go home. You can just sleep in there. But overall, I just am obsessed with this lot. I think it looks so pretty. This is the kind of thing I'd use in my own gameplay too, because I love the thought of having my Sims stay here overnight. The next one is a house, but kind of similar in the like calm and relaxing vibes. This is the Modern Woodsy Dream by Hellcat333. Something I noticed when like digging around in the gallery for all these shells is just how many people built in Glimmerbrook. This is the world that came with Realm of Magic, and I feel like it's super underrated. It's quite small and doesn't have a lot of community lots or anything, so it's kind of easy to forget about, but the world itself is so pretty. Like the background of this is stunning, and this is the lot that Hellcat built. I think what stood out the most to me about this is the detail they have with the fencing. I've never thought about using spandrels and a fence to like make a custom fence almost, and they like covered it up with fairy lights and they like covered it with fairy lights, and I don't know, just the detail in the backyard here is so pretty to me. I also love the black color scheme on this. So speaking of the backyard, when you come back here, there's a hot tub, there's some lounge chairs, there's a huge pool, but the actual building itself has this beautiful little rock lined path leading up to it. And then when you come inside, it's got this beautiful wood good like cabiny feel. So you walk into this sort of open floor plan. Over to the side, we have this huge living room. My favorite part of the interior is the kitchen. I love the combo of these cabinets together. I've never used these base game ones with the spa day ones, but it looks so good. Also, this tile, I just feel like this house is a great combination of like modern, updated features on like an otherwise kind of cabiny vibe. I love when people combine two styles like that. Obviously, as we've seen with like the werewolf beach bar and the blue suburban restaurant combo. I just think it's pretty cool. There's like a little bathroom downstairs and a dining nook back here. And then upstairs, it's just one bedroom. It's like one big open bedroom. This one also seems like the kind of thing that could make a really good vacation home. Like if you wanted your Sims to come rent this for a couple days on like their honeymoon or something. But upstairs, it's all open, but it feels like separate spaces because you've got it divided by the staircase. So over here, we have like a desk area and a balcony. And then down around this side, we have like the bedroom section. It's so fun for me to tour these builds and like see how other people use things because there's so many items that I kind of forget about. Like this plant, this is from the plant kit. I don't even know if I've used this a single time, but it hung up there above the nightstands, looks so good. And this is the industrial loft kit bed with island living nightstands. And I had no idea the wood tones match so well on those, but they also have a Get Famous dresser and a spa day candle wall. And somehow it all matches perfectly. And I've just never thought to combine these things before. That's just what I love about this because I feel like every time I do these shell tours, I'm like taking notes on like ideas people have had. Same thing in this bathroom. I had absolutely no idea that this base game bathtub matched the cats and dogs stuff so well. This is just that regular base game corner tub, but it's got a black and gold swatch that perfectly matches the cats and dogs one. Also, did you know this bathtub had slots on it? Because you can slot candles to it. I have never seen that. I had no clue. I love this bathroom. I've never ever used these swatches, but it looks so good together, especially in the context of this house. It's all very warm and inviting inside with like the black and the wood and this sort of coppery color accent. I could sit here and talk about each of these builds all day, so I'm trying to make sure I'm doing this in a timely manner. This next one is another restaurant. It's called the Teen Pizza Restaurant by Just Simmering. This one is also built in Copperdale and it's like a teen hangout, kind of like what I went for, but obviously it's a completely different style. They put so much detail into the exterior of this one, like with all the posters and the graffiti everywhere. There's also so many debug things that I've like literally never seen. For example, this part is like a debug pathway. This gnome, never seen that, but looks perfect. We even have like debug parking spaces underneath the bikes. We've got a storm drain and this cone. It just feels very realistic out here. Around the back, we've got like a little bit more outdoor seating and some fairy lights and things. When you first come inside, you check in right here and there's like a few indoor seating spaces too. We even have like a bigger private room over here, which is kind of realistic in a restaurant. This part's one of my favorites because I never thought to put this menu underneath the window, but it fits perfectly and it seems so realistic. Like I feel like in real life you'd come here and then like order at the window like this. Obviously in The Sims nothing works like that, like you have to have table service, but I just loved that idea. We have the kitchen back here and then upstairs there's some more seating and like kind of more of a hangout space. We have a table and a couch. You can perform here. There's also vending machines so your Sims can die here if you wanted to get crushed. And they have a whole custom menu, which as we've discussed is one of my favorite parts of these Sims restaurants. I love this kind of thing. This to me is just a perfect spot to bring your teens. I feel like I've always wanted more stuff like this for teen Sims, and this fits in really well in the high school years world. But I have one last build that I want to show you. Again, these are obviously in like no particular order, but the final one today is the Residence at the Bluffs by Holland's Girl 07. And what immediately stood out to me about this is that I've never ever done a build on the Bluffs before. The Bluffs are this island lot and get together that usually has that dirty pool on it. They wrote this whole story about how the land grabs were tired of Malcolm going out there and partying, so they bought the lot and then built a vacation house on it. I love a good backstory, but I especially love some good Sims blackmail. And I like the idea of the land grabs having a vacation home. It's just kind of a fun storyline. This is the exterior and they like really went all out with this one. There's these beautiful pathways and a huge patio. We've got an enormous pool. We have a diving board and this like wall of fountains. There's a built-in hot tub and some lounge chairs. We have like a built-in stone seating area by the fireplace. Even up here, we have this cool like grill and bar area with some tables. I think my favorite angle is this one because I love the idea of this trellis thing they've done. We've got these little ivy pieces, but also like a custom trellis made with these things from Eco Lifestyle style. It's two separate things they layered together to make a trellis, and then they put that light on top. And then these plants here, I don't know, this second floor I feel like looks so good. But when you actually come inside, this is the front door right here. There's like a little entryway with some places for your shoes. Over here we have kind of a cool kitchen. I really liked this area in particular, like the bar stools up against the wall with the big painting. I've never seen that done before, and I really like how it looks like up against the wall. We've got kind of a dining nook back here. There's like a little lounge space, and I love how these chairs are overlooking the pool and stuff. There's a kind of small upstairs. It's got like a little desk area. We've got the primary bedroom and closet. We have a really, really trendy bathroom in here. I adore this floor with those tiles. And then we have a smaller bedroom that has some bunk beds in it, which feels like it makes perfect sense for a vacation home. It doesn't need to be like super personalized. It just needs to be a spot to sleep. But then on the balcony, we've got like the keg stand, there's foosball, we've got ping pong. So it's a great place to have your Sims come and stay because there's so many things to do. This one, same thing. You can't technically stay at or rent. The Bluffs are a special venue, so you can't change the lot type, but you could still like throw a party here or get married here or just come here and sleep and not leave. So it'd be a cool place to like have your Sims birthday party or something. But that, my friends, is all 10 lots that I wanted to show you today. I know I always say this, but I just love shell challenges for this reason. It is so cool to me how we can all start off with the same box and then just have completely different visions for what it could be. And I'm serious, there are so many amazing builds on the gallery from this shell. I can't show them all off in one video because this video is long enough as it is, but if you want to go look at #Simsie New Year shell on the gallery, you can scroll through and see some more. And if you want to maybe go back and watch some past shell videos that I've done, I can link them for you. Huge thank you to any of you who built a shell for this one. I was so sorry that I can't like show them all off in a video, but I tried to comment on as many as I could. I'm thinking I might do another shell kind of soon. This feels like a good time killer before the pack comes out for us to like do this and have an excuse to build something. So stay tuned. I'll probably get one up in the next couple weeks here. But on that note, I'm going to end this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. Have the best rest of your day, and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. Oh my goodness, this video took me so long to record. Hopefully it isn't too long.